You guys are killing me. You have staff's phone number.
No one else came to the front.
Incredible. And then that's the line of the year. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll call the Tuesday, July 14th, 2026 Faribault City Council to order. First item is a roll call.
Councilmember Barnes. Here. Dumbuya. Ross.
Here.
Rowan.
Here.
Venslus.
Here.
Teal.
Here.
Mayor Spooner.
Here, and pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 2 is approval of the agenda. Anybody have any comments?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Roan, second by Van Sluis. All those in favor of the agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That passes. Item 3, presentations and introductions. We have none. We'll move on to number 4, approval of the minutes. June 23, regular meeting and closed meetings. June 23rd, litigation strategy, special meetings. July 7th, special council meetings. We've had a lot of meetings. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Ross, second by Barnes. All those in favor signify by saying
Aye.
aye. All opposed? Motion passes. On to number 5. We only have one tonight. Karen Zeller. Come forward and please state your name and address.
Yes, Karen Zeller, 1901 Crystal Lane. Hello, everybody. I'm the only one this time. I want to start off by saying I agree with you, Tom. After that session that we had, I listened to you guys talk, that we do need facts. We need to know what's happening here. And what's the future? You said, what is the future of data centers and where are we headed? And that's basically what all of us want to know. What's happening with this stuff? And also, that's why I really feel a moratorium, 2-year moratorium is important. That in 2 years, we should have a much better idea of the ramifications of these data centers and what do they bring to our community in a positive, and also what are the negative ramifications of something like this. Are they going to be obsolete? How soon will they be obsolete? I mean, Elon Musk is already planning with SpaceX. He's planning to put data centers in space. That's his plan because of the cooling. In 3 years, is that going to be achievable? I don't know. What happens to our data center if you guys approve it? It's obsolete. We have to maintain this enormous structure that could cost millions of dollars, at least thousands of dollars a year to maintain it. What about all of the environmental destruction that will have happened in that amount of time? Economist Rick Marone, he says that cities are treating data centers like a free gift, when in reality, for a city, a small city like ours, it is an eternal obligation which has the potential to destroy the city in terms of the environment and everything else, also the taxes. Somebody's going to have to pay to maintain these things once these billionaires move on to something that looks better and brighter in the future. You know, my mom always said that you should take a paper and fold it in half. On one side, you put the pros of an idea. The other side, you put the cons. And when the cons far outweigh the pros, it makes a decision much clearer and much easier to make. And I think that's where we are right now. Finally, I just feel like the city council should be incorporating the ideas from the townships in something this massive, mainly because the people who live in the townships are going to bear the first brunt of all of this. The destruction of the environment, the chemicals, the noise, the light pollution, and the drain on the Jordan Aquifer, which we all need. We need the Jordan Aquifer, not only us, Northfield, Owatonna, Pine City, everybody, Pine Island. I mean, we all take water from that. And How much? 3 minutes?
30 seconds.
30 seconds. All right. I got through just about the whole thing. I'm amazed. I tried to condense it. But one last thing is, I cut this out of the Minneapolis paper. It's controlling that PFAS plume generated by 3M. 3M in the settlement agreed to clean up Oakdale. They didn't agree to clean up the whole state. Unfortunately, the PFAS is moving like a flood toward the St. Croix. And it's going to take $4.4 million to try to put a barrier up. And to maintain that barrier this is the annual cost, $12.3 million to $82.8 million. Where would we get that kind of money?
Time's
That's
up.
my last
Time's
question.
up. Thank you once again.
Thanks,
Karen.
everybody. It's been a pleasure.
All right, that closes that out. On to item 6, consent agenda items. We have 6A through 6O. Would anybody like anything pulled for discussion?
I'd like to pull item J.
What's that?
Item J.
J. Question, or would you like it pulled all
No, I'll make a motion to approve A through I, K through O.
together?
Second.
Second by Ross. I have a motion by Roan on 6A through 6I and 6K through 6O. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The motion passes. 6J, John Roan, what is your question or comments?
None. I can't support it.
Okay, all right.
So, somebody want to make a motion?
I make a motion to approve 6J.
Second.
By Teal, second by Van Sluis. All those in favor of 6J signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed?
Nay.
All right, thank you. That passes. No public hearings tonight. 6A, ordinance 2026-9, amending the regulations of cannabis and hemp business. Heather, select us.
Mayor and City Council, at the June 23rd City Council meeting, the council approved the first reading of ordinance 2026-9. Since that time, there's been no comments or changes to the ordinance, so staff is recommending approval of ordinance 2026-9 and then a subsequent approval of the summary publication in a separate motion.
Any questions for Heather?
Mayor Spooner,
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-9.
Second.
This is an ordinance. We have a motion. Let's have a roll call.
Councilmember Barnes? Aye. Ross?
Aye.
Rowan?
Aye.
Van Sluis?
Aye.
Teal?
Aye.
Mayor Spooner?
Aye. And approval of the summary of this ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Van Sluis, second by Roan. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that passes. Item B, resolution 2026-196, approval of plans and specifications to establish a bid date. Mark Duchesne.
Thank you, Mayor, council members. Before you tonight is a resolution to approve the plans and specifications for the Two Rivers Siphon Box improvements. This is City Contract 2025-08. This siphon box is located at the Two Rivers Park. It carries sanitary sewer waste from kind of the northwest area of town underneath the Cannon River and over to our wastewater treatment plant. Siphon box was originally constructed in the 90s. It's showing significant degradation from hydrogen sulfide gases that have eaten away the concrete. We don't know what the pipes underneath the river look like. It's not easy to camera them because we constantly have to maintain that flow through there. But as you recall, through a process of evaluating a feasibility report and look at different options, we did settle on the option of replacing both the siphon box and the receiving box on the other side of the river and the pipes in between with a new modern system that will be tolerant of the hydrogen sulfides that are present in that line. The estimated cost for this project is just over $1.8 million, and the resolution before you tonight does establish a bid date of August 5th. This project will be funded out of our Sanitary Sewer Enterprise Fund. If you recall, a couple months ago, we did come forward with a resolution asking for support to apply for a US EDA grant for this project and another project. Further investigation and review with the US EDA, this project was not going to score well, so we stopped pursuing that grant on this one. We are still working on the other one. at this time, but there's also a lead time on these siphon boxes of up to 6 to 9 months, so we anticipate we need to get this project bid now for construction likely in the spring. There's a chance a contractor may have availability late fall or winter to drill the new pipes underneath the river, but the full siphon box being complete and operational will likely be next spring or early summer sometime. So with that, I'll answer any questions, but we are recommending approval of Resolution 2026-196.
Any questions for staff?
Yeah, Mayor, thank you, Mayor. Director, was this in the budget?
Yes.
Perfect, thank you. No more.
Else? Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Teal, second by Barnes on Resolution 2026-196. Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That passes. On to the next one, item C, Randy's Foods at 1910. Variance on a developer's agreement. Harry Davis, Planning Manager.
Yes, thank you, Mayor, and good evening, Council. So just probably take a minute just for it to load up. There we go. Okay. So the item in front of you is a variance in a development agreement for Randy's Foods. It's Randy's Foods LLC. They make quite a few frozen pizzas and a few other things. The applicant for this project is Brad Moore. The location for this is actually their facility behind Hy-Vee at 1910 5th Street Northwest. And the variance in front of you is for a side setback for a new addition. Here's the property in relation to Highway 60 and the interstate and downtown. And then the property a little bit more zoomed in with an aerial outlined in yellow. The variance for this project, it's to allow an 11-foot side setback when a 15-foot side setback would be required. So the variance would be 4 feet. Here's somewhat of a diagram of the property. The area where the variance is dashed in blue. So it's on the east side, adjoining another industrial use. And, we're giving a little bit of leeway for this particular project and saying, look, we'll just have it at 11 feet for the side setback rather than, 11 feet and like 2 inches. Just to provide some grace. And here's what the project will look like. It's a building addition for this property. This property was built back in the 50s. And so they're trying to make use of an existing building and to improve on it so that Randy's Foods would be able to stay both within the city and within this building and continue to use it for a while. So, generally in terms of variances, we're looking at something called, is there practical difficulty in trying to meet the code? And also, is there, some sort of unique circumstance that is coming out of this variance request? And what we can say is that, the current property owner and business are really trying to make use of this property. They're trying to extend the life of both the existing building as well as their business that's located here since the 90s. And this addition would allow them to not rework their entire interior in order to try to accommodate what this addition would do, which would be dry storage. So it's a better setup for not only their business, but for the property as well. In general, we do feel like that this meets the comprehensive plan as well as our zoning requirements, and Planning Commission did vote unanimously in favor of this project. So I actually need 2 motions tonight from you all. One is for the first part, which is the variance. That's Resolution 2026-198. Again, that approves the variance request. And then the second one is 2026-199. So this is a developer's agreement. This supports the variance and just makes sure that we're not running into any potential parking issues going into the future resulting from this addition. So with that, I'm happy to take any questions.
Questions for staff, Mr. Ross.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Davis, did anybody evaluate the drainage between the 2 buildings when we're narrowing the space up? Are we anticipating any drainage issues at all, or
Yeah, we're currently not anticipating any drainage issues, and engineering, which is part of stormwater, their stormwater review, they will be reviewing it for that.
Okay. Is there green space between, or is it hard surface in the buildings?
Trying to remember offhand. I think that it is green space. I know that there is the hope in the future to have some sort of exterior access point along that side. And I think that's probably for fire reasons, if I recall correctly. So I believe that the applicant is here if you do want some
No,
specific answers.
that's fine. No, as long as, I just want to make sure that we look at the drainage so that we're not creating a problem, 5 years from now that we'll have to deal with. So as long as we're going to evaluate the drainage, I'm good.
Yeah, they are providing stormwater facilities on site.
Thank you.
Questions?
Make a proposal to pass ordinance, or I'm sorry, resolution 2026-198.
Second.
Motion by Barnes, second by Ross. All those in favor of resolution 2026-198? Aye. All opposed? Passes on to the next one. Any? Entertain a motion.
Mayor Spooner.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2026-199.
Second.
Motion by Ross, second by Van Sluis. All those in favor of resolution 2026-199? Aye. All opposed? That passes. On to item D, resolution 2026-206, postponing the decision on the need for the environmental impact statement for Archer data on the Faribault campus. Jessica Kinzer.
Yes, Dave Weinberg is here if you have any specific questions, but since this was discussed heavily at the work session last week, and the memo in the packet really includes a lot of the history of how we got here. I'll be brief in my statements of following the Court of Appeals ruling. There really were three options. One, which we didn't think was advisable, was that the city had the option to appeal to the Minnesota Supreme Court. That one was taken off the table pretty early as not advisable. The second one was to require a discretionary EIS, but that is not the path that the council directed at the work session. What was directed was to allow Archer data centers at their request to have until March 31st of 2027 to update the EAW with the information that the Court of Appeals deemed was missing and any other information that would have changed from the time that EAW was initially prepared in early 2025. And so that is what is before you tonight. This will essentially resolve the litigation, and the resolution tonight would be filed with the Court of Appeals as showing the decision that the council made as a result of their opinion offering two paths forward.
Questions for staff?
I just want to go on record and say I'm going to support this, but I actually want to be on record saying I wanted the environmental impact statement. But the court needs this, so we got to move forward.
We can still do the EIS after March, so that's why I'm in support of this. So
That is correct. So ultimately, when they provide things back, we'll have our third-party reviewer review. There will be, I'm assuming, a work session, and then basically probably making a recommendation to the council with what to do at that point sometime in 2027.
All right, any further questions?
Mayor Spooner?
Yes.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2026-206.
Second.
By Roan, second by Barnes. All those in favor of resolution 2026 signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? That motion passes. On to resolution 2026-207, authorizing development performance
Yes, this was also a very big part of our work session discussion, as well as the request from Archer Data saying that they were going to have a difficult time completing an EAW if there were not specific performance standards that were established. And to the non-planner, if you look in our Unified Development Ordinance, we have a number of performance standards for a number of business uses in our community where we've said we think we should be a little bit more strict than where this would be allowed or have some other requirements. So requiring performance standards on a data center is not outside the boundaries of what we already have performance standards on in our community. So this is not something new, and a lot of uses actually do have those additional performance standards placed on them through our ordinance. In talking with the city attorney following the work session, Councilmember Barnes had made a request to have the Environmental Commission be part of the performance standards process. And so we decided, rather than adding that into the resolution that was to resolve sort of where we stand with the Court of Appeals and filing with the Court of Appeals, to basically do this as a separate resolution that would direct the performance standards to be developed and direct that the Environmental Commission be part of that process as well. So that is what this separate resolution is.
Any comments, questions?
Just a point of clarification. So it was mentioned earlier that a 2-year moratorium, somebody would like that. But of course, there's no provision in law for 2 years. It would be 1 year if the council ever went down that path, correct?
That is correct.
Thank you, Mayor. I hope I can word my question in an intelligent manner to get past what I want to say. Yeah, so do we. Huh? We have quite a few businesses that come into town, buy land. As long as it's properly zoned, they put up a building. As long as they don't need any variances or any CUPs or anything, they never come before us. So by developing these performance standards, could we be setting up that situation where a data center could come to town, buy properly zoned land, fit it into the box of our new parameters here that were the performance standards, and never have to come before us?
I don't know. I don't think that's a yes or a no, because the performance standards aren't developed to really apply to where something could be located in the community. Generally, I think what you would be looking for, yeah.
Go ahead,
Oh.
I'll add my comment.
I think it's hard to say when we're looking at doing something that places further restriction beyond I-2 without knowing what those further restrictions would be. I think probably the bigger thing is, platting is typically where there might be something that has to come forward if somebody's buying a greenfield type of property, that would be the thing that would come before the council before any application of any other standards.
Yeah, because my concern is that we create the standards as of today, and this is cutting-edge technology. So whatever standards we create today, I have a feeling they may be outdated in 6 to 12 months because the technology changes so quickly. So I'm wondering, are we always going to be just chasing this? Is this an ordinance that we're going to have to change every year? Or that's my concern, is that I don't want to establish something that makes it honestly quite simple for a company to come in and build one of these things without coming before us.
I would say it probably is more about a location that would be selected and the site readiness of it.
But we've already zoned it, or we've already require I-2. So the zoning's out of it because that's the only place they can go. So what I'm saying is they could come into an I-2, buy the land, and if they don't need any variances or CUPs, could they just build it based on our performance standards that we're
I would say the
defining?
platting is the thing that would be is a plat going to be required? And that would be the thing that would come before those other items as well, too. So even if they made it through those hurdles, if there was a plat would still go before the planning commission and to the city council for preliminary and final approval.
Okay. Mayor?
I have a comment. As long as we got Harry Davis sitting here, isn't it something in our standards we could require this as a conditional use, as we require to have conditional uses for this a data center? That we set the standards of what
Yes,
are in
Mayor.
that?
Yeah, to answer your question, if, we could put in the performance standards that if a property is within, I don't know, X amount of feet of a residential property, a property used primarily for residential, we could require a conditional use permit at that point. That is an option for us.
So we could set the standards so high that incredibly tough to build.
Without coming before us.
Correct.
Because that's the key is,
That's,
I think in this
agree. I'm on the
situation,
same page with you.
I hope the council kind of understands where I'm going with this and that by saying what the standards are, we could have somebody come in, meet all the standards and just go boof and build it.
John?
So we're just authorizing the development of said standards. We're not approving said standards.
Correct. There would still be a significant process with the planning commission through work sessions and ultimately public hearing, as well as then the environmental commission, where we'll have to talk about where that's going to fit in with the statutorily required planning process, and then ultimately comes back to the council for adoption. So this is not going to happen in a short term, and we'll have much public deliberation.
Barnes?
Great question, Councilmember Ross. I appreciate and respect where you're coming from. I get it, and I think it will be an evolving thing. I think each person and each business is unique, and we need to cater to that and also give each of them a fair shake. I just wanted to read off the Environmental Commission. It was established in April 17th of 2020. City Council created Environmental Commission upon the passage of Ordinance 2020-3 adopted on February 25th, 2020. The purpose of the commission, as given in the ordinance, is to advise the City Council on environmental issues and opportunities affecting the city while respecting the city's economic and social environments. And just a reminder of our mission statement as a city, the city of Faribault, in harmony with residents, businesses, and institutions, serves to connect with our community, ensuring a clean, safe, and vibrant livability. I think this is a perfect union of the two commissions, and I look forward to see what they come up with.
Okay. Any other comments, questions?
Mayor Spooner.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2026-207.
Second.
Ross, second by Barnes. All those in favor of Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that motion passes. Thank you. On to item 9, bids, resolution 2026-207, lead service replacements. Director Travis Block.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. As tonight's resolution before you is to approve or accept the bids for the lead service line replacement project, City Contract 2026-10. Bids were received on June 17th. We received 5 bids for the project, with the low bid coming from Wenzel Construction in Owatonna for $479,675. You can see 3 of the bids were below the engineer's estimate, with 2 of them being slightly above. The costs and funding of the project, including construction, engineering, and a contingency, is $755,421. Funding for the project is to be provided by grant funding from the Minnesota Public Facilities Authority in the amount of $1.375 million. At this time, upon pending approval tonight of the contract or awarding the contract to the low bidder, the water fund will fund the project order until a project order is established or executed with the Minnesota Public Facilities Authority in the fall. What this will do will allow us to put a bid package together for additional lead line replacements to try and maximize our grant funding. And in recent conversation and communication that our consultant had with the Department of Health, they suggested that if we're going to pursue that action, to do that in a timely manner so that we can get that project going, then in the fall, then we will have essentially two agreements executed, a master agreement that will allow us to go for any lead service line project now and in the future, and then each time another project comes in, then a project order for each individual project. The tentative schedule then, where we're at tonight is awarding contract. We'd be looking to begin construction fairly quickly here in August, and then with substantial completion of this phase in October of 2027, and then final completion in 2028. That is essentially, it's when the funding would need to be expired by that time. Yep. So if you have any questions, I'll take those. Otherwise, I'd recommend approval of resolution 2026-204.
Questions?
All right, Mayor Spooner?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2026-204.
I'll second.
Motion by Ross, second by Rowan. All those in favor of resolution 2026-204 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Boards, commissions, reports, announcements. Anyone? Administration.
Yes, and just looking at the budget schedule, we forgot that, National Night Out on August 4th is not going to be a work session. At this point, I do believe we will have a special work session on July 28th following the regular council meeting for some additional budget stuff, hoping to kind of keep away from that first week in August, though I can't fully commit at this point that first week in August, we won't be looking at a work session for another reason. So that is kind of where things are at. We are still planning to have on July 21st, so an agenda that would be coming out this Friday. Basically, here's where we're at for a preliminary levy and just sort of some initial run through of what things look like and more conversation and getting some direction from council on where to go.
All right. Anything else? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ross, second by Van Sluis. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye.